sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alrighty, so welcome back. Today we're gonna be doing a little stock analysis, going over a few trades that we made earlier this week. Today we're gonna be looking at SPRC. Now this thing was moving up. It went up from about $4.50 all the way to a high of, as of right now, like 12 bucks. But it hit that high of 9.50. Small pullback on the 5 minute, then it proceeded to keep on going up. That's right when I started looking at it. As you can see, I'm drawing out my levels now. I got to do that real quick to show some type of support and resistance. I'm just not hopping back into trading, so I'm a little rusty, but bear with me. So I'm looking at this thing. I see it squeezed up. On the 5 minutes, you see two big green candles, one red candle of pullback, followed by some consolidation. So I'm looking at this thing like, it's kind of overextended, but if it pulls back nicely to these moving averages, we might have a trade. So I think at about right here, I'm looking like, this is a nice dip, and I think I'm about to take a piece her pretty soon. I think I got in right at 1087. Looking at those three red candles of pullback, I was like, maybe it's gonna retest that 1250 area. So, we got a target of basically $1.50, which is a good target amount, honestly, with a pull with a stop loss at about 1050. Now, I'm not really trying to have it go down to 1050, but 500 shares, 50 cents, not the biggest deal in the world, but I'm looking for that move up to 1250. So as you can see right here, as soon as I bought, it's instantly popping back up over 11. I'm like, okay, we looking good. I'm up 30 cents on the trade. Let me lock in some profits. And as you can see, I kind of hesitated as it went up to 27, but then I kind of locked in that profit as it started to come back down. It went up to almost about 30 something, and we was able to lock in some profit right at the whole dollar. Didn't really capture as much as that move as I wanted to, but it was okay. I made a quick little 77 bucks after commissions. No biggie. Now I'm still looking at this thing like, okay, we pop back up off that moving average. That's good. Can it hold 11 is what I'm thinking in the back of my head. So I'm like, okay, if it holds 11, what's my target? Well, I went for the retest and it didn't quite do it on that one. So gotta lower your standards a little bit. If I'm gonna hop back in this thing, I gotta look for maybe 20 cents of profit. Something a little bit more reasonable, just in case this thing pop and drop again. We at least locking in some profits. We got $85 secured so far. Let's see if we can add a little bit more to the tally. So we was able to lock up a little bit of profit, 85 on the first, 75 on the second. And we got a nice little cushion on the day. I was excited, small amount of trades. Looking at it, it kept consolidating sideways. I'm like, this is good. Because usually what you see after a big old pop is a big old drop. I said, let me mark out a little bit more level. So just in case this thing drop, where it's going to drop to. But you know what? It surprised me. It did not drop. That sideways consolidation turned into a nice little spike. Anybody that was short from that $11 level and hoping for it to drop back down to 1050, they just got squeezed out. Because as you can see right here, boom, that mug hit 1160, 1170, instantly shot from 1170 straight to 12, straight through 1250. And I missed it. I ain't gonna lie, I missed this one because I was waiting. I was expecting a drop. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it didn't drop. And once it started to pick up some traction, it was off to the races. Boom, straight through 12, straight through 1250. Didn't even pull back for a second. Went straight to 1277. Boom, now it's hitting 13. If you didn't get in down at 1150, you basically had no entry unless you was willing to chase it. So I said, hey, you know what? This might be one I have to chase. Next candle, that might be where I need to hop in at. But you still want to watch it and be careful. You see it's showing some resistance. It's making a triple top at that previous resistance at 1250. But what was resistance becomes support. Instantly when it shot through that level, I couldn't hang on no more. I said, let me see if I can get a piece of this ride, a piece of this move on the way up. And we was able to capture a little bit. Got in on a small micro pullback. If you don't got a 10-second chart, you would have missed that pullback. Got in at 1325. Ended up being able to capture a small move on the next little push. But if you look at that 5-minute chart, this thing is super duper extended now. So, I locked in another, a nice little 175 bucks in profit right there on there. I ain't even realize. I'm looking at it now on this replay and I see really how good I did because that was a nice little trade. And now I'm looking at this thing like, man, it's super extended now. everything's looking good. It happened nicely. But if you look at the 5 minute chart, you got 1, 2, 3 big old green candles. Like this thing is due for a big red pullback. And eventually they all do pull back, but it's all about, can you capture some of the move on the way up or on the way down? Because it don't matter if you to the long side or the short side, it's money to be made for everybody. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little recap of what I've been doing all week while gas prices is astronomically high and we not making as much money doing gig work, delivering food, delivering groceries. I'm trying to make sure that I got me a backup plan and make sure that that backup plan is working out. So shout out to all the dashers, shout out to all the traders out there. But yeah, this thing was moving up pretty nicely. Just wanted to share a little bit of this with you. Maybe some of you guys out there traded this stock, maybe you didn't. Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.